wins in each of those seasons. The Packers are obviously heavy favorites, but if Minnesota can get above its 8 wins from last year, they've got a chance to challenge Green Bay for this division crown.
The veteran kicker Mason Crosby set to do the honors here. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And he returns this to the 22. The Vikings offense coming out for the first time, and in his 5th season leading this crew, coming off his 3rd career Pro Bowl nod, Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins is back for his 5th year as Minnesota's starter, tied for the longest streak of stability the team has had at quarterback since, get this, Fran Tarkenton in the late 1970s. He's been excellent during that time, making his 2nd Pro Bowl last season after 4,200 yards and 33 touchdowns through the air. The Vikings, though, still hovering right around 5.
And right away, he lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. So this defense clicking early in the year. Week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And he's 1 for 1 on the new year as his kick is good. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Taken in at the 3. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Dalvin Cook taking the field for the Vikings' next possession. He's probably a little angry at himself. It was his fumble, obviously, a moment ago that led to the scoop and score touchdown that has him down early.
And now we find out about the psychology aspect of being a coach. Because when you have a guy that's just happened, some people want to take him out of the game immediately. Others say, you know something? Let's feed him the ball again next series and see if he's going to be able to atone for it. Let's see what they decide to do.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Very nice catch there by Justin Jefferson, one of the best receivers in the game after just 2 seasons in the league. As a rookie, 2nd-team All-Pro, and then in his 2nd year was 2nd in the league in yardage. This guy continues to grow and get better with every game.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Here's Cousins. And he's got this to Jefferson. And they're in. Across midfield to the 48.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And some room to work. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, 48 yards. And the Vikings are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. And Johnson's extra point up and good. And we are tied at 7. A drive there of just 4 plays. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Green Bay's offense trots out, and just as it has been since week 1 of the 2 leads the way now in his 18th year in the National Football League.
Even as he nears age 40, Aaron Rodgers' game isn't taking a single backward step. He became only the 4th player to win back-to-back MVP awards and led Green Bay to its 3rd straight 13-win season. He avoids turnovers better than anyone in football at the quarterback position. And Green Bay, they are always a front runner with him under center.
On first down, Rodgers. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Was it Darius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground? That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. He's got a man, complete. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
The Vikings here hosting Green Bay in the season opener, and they've got one of those quirks in the schedule that is going to work in their favor. They play all three of their division home games in the first 5 weeks of the year. After Green Bay today, they'll host Detroit in week 3 and then Chicago in week 5.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And he knocks the ball away and falls incomplete.
Many times when the play breaks down and the quarterback's moving around outside of the pocket, you're thinking just give him something short. But a lot of guys are coached, think deep, take the big shot, hoping someone can get lost behind the secondary. They weren't able to connect on that one.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Cousins. Pressure comes and down he goes. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. The Packers offense here coming back out for their 2nd drive.
They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. These two teams all tied after 1. The Packers with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. Rodgers going to go on 4th down. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
Holding offense.
So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So now, just like that, things change dramatically. It's 1st and goal. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cook. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And it's 2nd and goal.
Well, that's a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up to throw his Cousins. Yeah, he's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Irv Smith Jr. from 10 yards out. And the Vikings have moved out in front.
And Johnson's extra point.
We're just about set for a kickoff as we resume action in the 2nd quarter. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
This taken in at the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. We'll remind you that coming up tonight, the first Sunday nighter of the new season. And how about this for a matchup? The Buccaneers and the Cowboys from Dallas, 8:20 Eastern. Then tomorrow, Monday night, just one game here in Week 1 this year. And it'll put the Broncos and Seahawks.
And he spins past him and into space.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And he's got room.
And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 18 more yards there and another first down.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll go again to Jones. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Rodgers going to throw. Touchdown, Packers.
Robert Tonyan from 13 yards out. And the Packers are an extra point away from drawing level.
So a tiptoe catch back in the end zone, so tough to do, but he made it look pretty easy.
Certainly did in the back.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and we are tied at 14. So that drive spanned 5 plays.
And it was Robert Tonyan capping it all off on the touchdown grab.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
And the Vikings now heading onto the field.
And right now, we've got a little bit of an offensive masterpiece going on both sides, moving the football, scoring points. It's almost like somebody put the defense on rookie mode in this one. I mean, we haven't even left the first half, Charles, and we're certainly on pace for a shootout.
An excellent start for both offenses. The fans have to be enjoying this to see all these points go up on the board. As a former defender, you know I'm not enjoying this at all. But right now, both these teams just trading haymakers. Let's see if anyone slips up first. Can anyone counter a nice little jab and get things going in their direction?
On 3rd down, Cousins. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime.
Jordan Berry out to punt on 4th down.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, give him a good 10 yards on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
And a dangerous throw there on the drop-off. Incomplete, nearly intercepted.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From midfield, here's Rodgers.
And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. On the delay, Jones. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer 1st down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30.
46 yards rushing for him now to this point.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw here pulled in by Lazard.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up 1st and goal.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. Rodgers now to throw. to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
A big play if you think about it right now in this season opener. It's third and goal.
Here's Jones. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
So taking a risk here early in the new year, they're going to go for it.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And it's going to be batted down. And we'll go the other way with the football. They try to throw on 4th and goal from the 2. And the Vikings, they come up big down near the goal line.
And the Vikings going to take over here one more time before the half.
Now the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it. And we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Final play of the half. Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. And we... Now, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
Taken at the goal line. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. And the Packers ready to go to start quarter number 3. This offense ready for the first drive of the third quarter. Well, quarters number 1 and 2 entertaining. We saw some good offense points put up, Charles, and all tied on the scoreboard.
And it sets us up for what could be a really fun second half because we've seen both sides score almost at will here in the first half. And now, here in the second half, getting the ball first, you've got to think, hey, we can go out and really run our offense the way we did in the first half. But if I'm a defensive player, all I'm thinking is, can I make a play to really help out my team and break this streak of offense?
Running on first down is Jones, but he's not going to get much, maybe a couple, and it's second down.
Here's a full receiver look now. 3 of those guys out to the right side on 2nd and 8. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings.
Johnson for the extra point try.
It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6.
Taking it about the 1. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. He got 29 yards that time. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46. Throwing now is Rodgers. And one more time, that's Watkins. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone.
26 big yards on that one. It's another first down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Now thrown to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
2nd and 10, third quarter of the season opener.
Rodgers to throw once more. His throw caught at about the 5.
And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Okay, so roughing the passer, I've got to imagine that's the last thing you want to see week 1 as your quarterback taking an unnecessary hit.
I think you're exactly right about that. You hated it.
And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown.
Aaron Jones
taking it in from a yard out.
And the Packers are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line.
Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot. Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw there taken in by Smith.
Play action now. Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen.
And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I'll tell you what, those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
First down. Here's Cousins. It's caught on the right side at Smith.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
They'll throw again. Cousins.
That's complete to Smith-Marset.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown.
Dalvin Cook already his
second touchdown here in this opening weekend.
And the Vikings have answered back with a third-quarter touchdown of their own to retake the lead. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. Kevin O'Connell choosing to lead his guys out there, and they'll go for two.
Cousins will try and throw. And that is caught for the 2 points. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
The Green Bay offense ready to take over. And the football changing hands here as this offense takes the field. Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
And the tackle for loss goes to Eric Kendricks.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. On 2nd and 12, Rodgers. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
He's got a man complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. An excellent pickup at 34 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Over the middle, complete. It's Jones. And it's a Packers touchdown.
Aaron Jones.
He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Packers are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th-quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Rodgers will throw for it. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Do you have one of those charts that tells you to go for 2 or go for 1?
I don't. I know you do, but I don't care what the chart says there. You got to kick it, right?
I agree totally because somewhere the chart's going to, something's going to pop out of the chart and say, hey, man, just kick the extra point here. You're in good shape. I think they were chasing points there when they didn't need to.
Yeah, trying to get a little bit greedy, take the lead in the 4th quarter. Now they still trail by 1.
This offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And they've seen their lead nearly extinguished after that last score. But bottom line, they are still on top with the football. And a touchdown on this drive would really put them in position A.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Cousins. Out to the right here to Wilson. And they will rally and stop him short of the 1st down. They get him to the ground at the 26. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. That's pulled in at the 32.
A nice return that time of about 14 yards.
And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 80 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
A run with Jones on 1st down, not going to yield much. A yard tops. 2nd down coming up.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing is Rodgers. And that is incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, this is where an offense needs to show what it's made of, and in fact, where a quarterback needs to show what he's made of, trying to engineer a 4th quarter comeback, and he hits a big one right there.
So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. To throw is Rodgers. That's complete, and once again it's Cobb. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Everyone has their strengths, able to move to their right or their left, being able to throw the football. So that means you've got to work on both because you never know which way you're going to get flushed by pressure. In this situation, able to escape to his left and makes an accurate throw.
4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers.
Throw right side. This is into the hands of the tight end, Tunyon.
Just a gain of a couple there. And it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
The kick by Crosby is good, and they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes.
So he waited on the sideline for his first chance in the ball game, and it didn't come until the 4th quarter, but he connects there. A big one to give him the lead.
Boy, you talk about coming in cold. I don't care how many times you kick it into a net. You're not really ready when you go out there and all that beef is coming at you trying to block the kick. Big spot, and he delivers.
And he's going to be out of bounds here right at the 20-yard line. So Kirk Cousins in the offense. Down by 2. Less than 90 seconds to go. This is only week 1 of the season, folks. Get strapped in as they come up here 1st and 10. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
Charles, they're trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they could afford to go without.
About the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
Cousins to throw. And this is Cook with a grab. Room here to run. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings. Cousins. And that going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
It's caught. Smith. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
Cousins trying to get his guys up to the line of scrimmage quickly.
Cousins throw pulled in by Jefferson.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Oh, how about this on first and goal? And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. Third and goal.
Third down. Here's a run by Cook.
4 yards. That gets him close to the goal line, but it also brings up a fourth and goal. They still got 2 timeouts. Got to start using them, don't they?
You absolutely have to. You save them for this situation, but you have to use them.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Now here's a high-pressure moment for Brian Johnson.
This to almost certainly win the football game. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So it's not quite over yet, but you have to figure they pretty well got this one on ice now.
And Brandon, I'm trying to figure out how they remain so calm in these situations and then go out and execute, because I'm up here shaking like a leaf, and I wasn't the one trying to make that kick.
They look calm, but I bet if you had a heart rate monitor on it, they'd be up in the 300s right now.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
One final try now for Rodgers. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
Well, this was not just the open.
Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many given Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many given Sunday magic. Round of applause and you go, that's it. Damn, that's a bomb with a flick on my wrist. Jersey on my chest, that's a team that I rep. Came in as a rookie, now I'm balling like a vet. If you talking crazy, better say it with your chest. Hit him with the right, then I hit him with the left. Then the juke move, Heisman, stiff arm, lights out, you snooze. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many given Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many given Sunday magic. This is not a game, this is not a game. Banging on the chip when I come through the paint. Never been about the money or the fame. But when it bring both, so here we go again. Wins on the road, yeah, I got those. Couple records that I hold, yeah, I got those. It's the playoffs, the team just got home. We ain't going outside when it matter most. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's some any given Sunday magic. Lights came prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping.